Hey everyone, MelticMan234 here, and welcome to another episode of Forgotten Media, where I dig up some stuff you may or may not have heard of. And welcome to another installment of Mixed Batch. Well, it's about time I finally got a new title card for these segments. Well anyway, as usual, this is the part where I take several different medias that seem too short for one episode, and decided to squeeze them all into one. So let's get started. First up on the list is Stupid Pokemon Friends, a short-lived web series that was meant to be a spin-off to Stupid Mario Bros. Made by Rich Alvarez. The series' first and only episode was released on YouTube on July 24th, 2012, and featured Austin Stevenson and Dean Olsen reprising their roles as Brock and Professor Oak from Stupid Mario Bros. In this spin-off, Brock and Oak are just trying to find stuff to do since Stupid Mario Bros. Ended, and they get themselves into all kinds of crazy situations, I think. Old-time fans of Stupid Mario Bros. Will find some enjoyment in seeing Austin and Dean doing their roles again, as well as seeing a small appearance from Officer Jenny. The first episode has that kind of feel that was very similar to Season 1 of Stupid Mario Bros., where it was just random fun and nonsense. My only criticism is that the camera work is a bit rough in some scenes. Like there's a scene where Brock and Oak are eating at a restaurant. Brock talks about how he has an addiction for catching Pokemon. Then it cuts to a shot where we can clearly see someone sitting right next to Brock. But when it goes back to the close-up, he's gone! Where'd he go? After one episode, the show was cancelled and Austin and Dean felt that there would be some conflict between Rich Alvarez on this spin-off. A second episode was already scripted that would also feature Misty, and I'm sure we would have seen some more Pokemon characters if the show continued. Maybe we would have seen Dane Kevin Cook reprising Ash Ketchum from Stupid Mario Bros. Although that might have sparked some more controversy between them, but that's another story. So there you have it, Stupid Pokemon Friends, the spin-off that never was. Crank the Weasel was set to appear in a game under the same name that was made by Midway Games. It was going to be a platformer adventure game with a mature rating, and was planned to be released for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The goal to the game is to cause much havoc and mayhem as possible, in order to get enough money to fly over to Pleasure Island, a place where all the good stuff is, I think. The style of this game is like Conker's Bad Fur Day, set in a 1920s cartoon. In some ways, the backgrounds and levels of this game almost look like a very early prototype for Epic Mickey. Not sure what kind of enemies you would fight, but there are plenty of weapons, like glue, a bomb in a box, a bear trap, and lots of standard melee weapons like the classic wooden plank with the nails sticking out. There was a bunch of concept art and screenshots of the game, and it was even shown at E3 of 2002. Unfortunately, they announced the game's cancellation in 2003, claiming that the project just didn't take off and will never be seen again. It's a bit of a shame, really. I mean, a game with a 1920s cartoon look and style, I would have definitely bought that game if it was finished. So there you have it, Crank the Weasel, a cancelled game that could have been a lot of fun. Remember when the film adaptation of The Mask with Jim Carrey was a big deal back then? Well, during its hype and craze of yesteryear, there was some talk about a sequel to this successful film, with Jim Carrey reprising the role and Chuck Russell once again directing. Nintendo Power held a contest, where the winner would be featured as a cameo in Mask 2, as well as receiving some other prizes like some games, a special Mask 2 leather jacket, as well as a phone call from Leslie Swan, the voice of Princess Peach from Super Mario 64. Well, someone did win that contest and was given all of that stuff, but he was also contacted by Nintendo Power, or someone running the contest, who told him that Mask 2 wasn't happening anytime soon. Jim Carrey wasn't fond of the idea of reprising the role, so I guess the project was shelved or went through development hell, who knows. So he was given a choice. He could either wait for the film to eventually be made and make his cameo in the film, or receive a paycheck for $5,000. So the winner went for the $5,000 paycheck. We eventually did get a sequel to The Mask, and, well, we all know how that film turned out. As for the original sequel, there's really not much known about it. I can't really find any film footage or early drafts of scripts that were pitched. The last time that this film was publicly announced was that it was briefly mentioned in the last issue of Nintendo Power, where they actually featured an apology note to the winner of that contest that went nowhere. In 2014, the winner of that contest revealed himself to be Nathan Runk, and briefly talked about winning the contest and all of that history. So there you have it, the original Mask 2. It probably would have been a hell of a lot better than the other Mask sequel that we got. So, you know how the Archie comics have been making those ongoing Sonic the Hedgehog comics, the now on hiatus Mega Man comics, and even the short-lived Knights comics? Well, I bet some of you didn't know that there were going to be Mario comics as well. Yeah, Archie Comics pitched some ideas to Nintendo in making comics based off of Super Mario Bros., along with Kirby and Metroid. A handful of rough sketches and concept art were done by Tracy Yardley, who has worked on a lot of the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Unfortunately, Nintendo rejected the idea, which is a shame. These could have been some really cool comics. Sorry, Luke, looks like you won't be getting that Mario and Sonic comic crossover you always wanted. But hey, at least we got that obscure Goomba cameo from the Worlds Collide story, so yeah, this is the best we're gonna get for a Mario and Sonic comic crossover made by Archie Comics. So there you have it, Nintendo comics made by Archie Comics. Sounds like a missed opportunity if you ask me. Well, that wraps up this episode of Forgotten Media, so this is Melting Man 234 signing out.